Welcome to Hockey Nation Live Show with Coach Frenchy and Michael Devellano somewhere, somehow, not in California anymore. He looked like he's in a grocery store. Which state are you?
Idaho. We're in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Here we go. That's Michael. He's a travel guy, go around the country, and glad to see you this morning where it's another 2020 freaking things going on now in NHL.
Oh my
We
goodness,
have,
what an amazing night.
I cannot remember when I was said to someone, you're going to have three game number 7 and Labor Day
Yeah,
weekend. Labor Day weekend.
amazing.
So let's dive right away from last night where we are completely wrong. To be honest with you, we predict two games winning by
Totally.
Vegas and Islanders, and both team flourish with perseverance and patience and trust themselves and come back a couple of goals back, behind everything, and they finally
Yeah.
win that game, and then Mr. The goalie from Vancouver, Demko, he become the new Martin brother, whatever you can call it. Like
Well,
he is like
yeah,
Mr.
like
Wow
it's
right now,
insane.
But let's start right away with that one over there.
Okay.
Um, let's start with Oscar Lemholm last night.
Yeah, good story.
This kid have a, maybe not follow too much, but this kid have a cancer a couple of months ago, and he have to stop to play hockey. He's not only, be sick, but also his player was like, his teammate was really concerned about him, and finally fight. He never give up, and he believe he trust the process to go back one day on the ice, and finally happened. His dream came back, and I really like the response of both teams on the ice and on the bench when
Oh yeah,
they stand up for him, and they claps, and you have the stick on the board, and the players, the referee turned to him, talked to him, said look, and so was pretty amazing. It just remind me Sako Koivu, 2003. If I can recall it very well, when he came back on the ice and he got a standing ovation for over 5 minutes from the Montreal Canadiens and the players, everything. So great moment in hockey. We hockey is a sport, but human being, professional to be an athlete and to respond that way. I think that show what is all about behind. You have a
for
life,
sure.
you have family, you have a, what I mean. So great sportsmanship from both team yesterday and the referee. So congrats from Oscar. Glad to see him yesterday, and
He
play.
was having a great year before that, right? Like
Yeah,
he looked like he was going to be a breakout year for him. He played really well last year. So I was quite shocked to see him back on the ice, to be honest with you.
if
Oh,
we,
sorry.
if you remember, I said to Len Blum, he's not going to be on the ice before
Yeah,
a couple of days. What it was the prediction from Flowers, but I think for shot, to surprise the team and bring something, you know, some an element for the players to play for
absolutely.
him. I think it was great to see him. It was the right decision from Alain Vigneault. Where we're going to talk about one decision he did not do very well yesterday, but let's move for a little bit from that game. Um, overtime. Second overtime, to be honest with you, and but
Second over, but this is really the story of they're outplayed badly, right? Like this is not even a close game. This is a game where they went ahead, which was great, but then it was like, what were they outshot by? 20. It was like 40-20 at some point, 49-21.
at the end of the game was 53-31.
Jesus,
And
is this
but
mine?
if you can
Okay,
if you can recall it very well,
maybe
Flowers scored two goals in 1 minute and 36 seconds at the beginning, at the first period, where Kevin Hayes and James Van Risnick
he's
scored
playing
second.
great, by the way. I gotta say, like
Yeah,
sitting him turned out really to be a good decision because I don't think I've ever seen James Van Riemsdyk play like this.
Yeah, he
Like
played
he's
a
playing
very solid.
energetically, and
He played a
yeah,
very
he's
solid game yesterday. He, by the way, at that moment, Barry Trotz, he was almost to decide to change Varlamov, and he
I
wait.
saw that.
You saw him on the TV where he turned
Yeah,
his back, talked with his assistant coach, and
two
then
goals and
yeah, to go. But you have to give credit to GVR on that one. It was a great
oh,
snapshot, top
oh yeah.
circle. Uh, I think Varlamov was out very well, but it is what it is. But at that moment, I thought, oh, it's going to be maybe a long night for Islanders with Carter, Hart, and the net. I think they would be shut down everything. But suddenly, Derek Brassard scored his second goal of the playoff at 16:33 to, um,
Make it a lot closer. It was like, okay, now it's 2-1, right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
suddenly it's not out of reach. I
No,
was jumping on an airplane right about that point. So I was like texting Frenchy to like tell me what the score was from the air.
yeah, exactly. And then at that moment, whatever it was 2-1, Islanders was really play well. They was
Oh
really,
my,
what I mean? They was going to shot after a shot. So it's funny thing is about one Kevin A score. It was 10-16. Flyers have no shot until 8 minutes and 37 seconds,
well,
and
even
then
when they had the two goals, they were being outshot like 9-5, weren't they?
yeah, exactly. So they was like overshot. There was only 4 or 5 shot to the net. They scored 2 goals on the 5 shot, and then Brassard score, and then they come back quickly. Um, Islanders at the beginning of the second period, when you get Matt Martin score his fourth and on the playoff, that's pretty good for have a 4 line. Martin score his fourth of the playoff, and then they got that. That's what I want to talk about. This the the call from Alain Vigneault. Um, I don't know if you're still there, but Alain Vigneault, you're on the mute right now. That's why. Alain Vigneault called a challenge right there,
Right.
and he lost the challenge. That gave a penalty um, for the Flyers, and then Islanders took advantage right away, and the
Yep.
score. Anders Lee is 7 on the playoff on power play, and then that will give them 3-2, and then Flowers fight back, score at 13-21. Michael Raffles his fourth of the playoff, and then a great goal from Matthew Barzal, top shell over the right shoulder of Carter Hart to his fifth of the playoff, and that will give them a 4-3. At that moment, with overshot like it was 30 something to only 14, I thought that'd be the end of the Flyers. But they never give up. They continues to
Yeah, they didn't
fight. They
quit.
continues to play hard. They
But they
shut
were
down.
getting so badly outplayed when I watched it. Like
Yep.
I went back and watched the game, the parts I missed, and it was not even like it was one-sided. Like Islanders were ready to try to put the kill in. Carter kind of kept them in. I don't know
Yes.
if you know the history between Barzal and Carter, but going back to junior, like when we had Carter, we had a real good team, and we faced Seattle, which is who Barzal played for in the WHL, and he single-handedly was the only reason that they won, and they went on to win the championship in the next round. So it was like when I was watching him score on Carter, I was like, no, it's like flashback.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
to Carter's
again,
credit, like man, he was like there's a big difference. There was like 49-21 at one point I saw.
yeah. And then you got again Scott Laughton, where he scratch play all playoff.
I don't
Score his,
understand that because Scotty's a good player, man. He's a
yeah,
big body.
score
He
his,
the boys love him. Like I don't know if you know Scott, but he like talks a lot during the game.
okay, yeah. So he
He
scores
is like
fifth.
Captain Chirp.
Yeah, exactly. So he scored his fifth. But one thing about him, he scored two goals on OT this playoff, and then he's just give a chance to Flowers stay in the game and go in OT with
Yeah.
that goal over there. So that gave a chance for the Flowers to still survive and then still believe they have a chance to go maybe win that game. And then he took two OT, almost two OT, because uh, even Provorov scored his third
Yeah.
of the playoff at 15:03, an assist of Kevin Hayes, and suddenly the momentum is shifting now for the Flyers, and
Well, it's
then
anybody's series now, right? Like, can the Flyers beat the Islanders? Is it 2 games in a row now? So,
yes.
can they beat them three is a really big question. All bets are off, right? Like, they just bought themselves a ticket to a 1 game series, which is amazing. It's just so improbable.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about what I got here for you about that game. First of all, Flowers win the three game and this series and three OT.
Wow.
So that's how they are.
That's crazy.
Secondly, um, he gave 4 goals, Carter Hart, yesterday. You know what I mean? Like you're going to tell me, oh, that's not great when you think about
Yeah.
only goals, right? But when you see
Yeah.
the shot, right?
There's no way.
50, 53 shots on
Yeah.
him, right? Plus 31 block from the Flowers.
Yeah. Like, they were so badly outplayed. It wasn't even close. Like, he totally. It's strange, but he kept them in. Like, that could have been a blowout.
I absolutely agree with you. And Anderson, he gave 4 goals, right? But he still gave them a chance to win.
Yeah,
They
he gave him a
give them a
chance.
chance to stay alive. They give them this to
Yeah.
survive. And that's what happened there. So he really gave a chance to the Flyers. Um, and that's what you predict yesterday morning, the only reason. And, they did this without Sean Couturier.
Yeah.
Um, that was something was amazing. Again, Alain Vigneault play again with his lineup. He put out, of course, he lost Couturier yesterday, but he put out Joel Farabi and he bring Michael Ralphie
Oh, Raffle, yeah.
and then Oscar Lenbaum
How much
inside.
did Lindblom play?
Yeah, and
Did,
you have to give credit to Oscar. He played over 20 minutes during that game.
come on.
Yeah,
He
21
played
minutes.
20.
Yep,
What?
yep. So, but again, I think the only reason the Flyers can survive
21
those,
minutes. Wow.
he can give a chance is like he need, Kevin Hayes play over 36 minutes. You have Scott Laughton over 33 minutes. Then you have Claude Giroux about 36 minutes. And then you have Voracek at 34 minutes. So that's the 4 guy over there. Uh,
Yeah, because it's double overtime, yeah.
yeah, and I think one guy I said to you, we did not talk about this. He have no goal, no assist, but he finished with +3 with Provorov. I would said
Yeah.
Matt Niskanen yesterday. Matt
Did he play good?
Niskanen played an amazing, great game. If you look the details, so many times he's stick over there. He one time Barzal have an empty net and he just pushed his stick over there. And so sometimes the stats, the score sheet don't represent exactly um, what they look like on the ice sometimes, right? So I just want to share with you about Niskanen on that side over there. Kevin Hayes and Provorov have 2 points yesterday. The rest have only 1 point. On the side, really, I was surprised to see Matt Barzal on the lineup. Be honest with you, I did not
For him?
expect that.
But it was just a stick, right? So I
Yeah,
think if it was bad, like I think they were playing games.
he has a bad a black
He
eyes
does have a
around
black
that
eye.
spot. I know you
Oh
don't
man.
like him. I'll be honest with
No,
you,
no, I
but
love Matt Barzal.
no, no, no. What I want to say to you is like maybe you don't like Jordan Eberle, but he
Oh
played a solid
no.
game yesterday.
Did
Uh,
he? Yeah.
He played a
I don't know.
really, he missed a breakaway one time, a shot he should, to get that. But I think he played a very solid game. Um, and Anders Lee have 7 shots yesterday. He has the most shot with Polak from the Islanders. But for the both team, they are the only one really. They have like over 7 shot them. Um, side of Islanders, it's a structure of the team. As you cannot say, okay, only him on him and him. It was everybody
No.
play well. They really
Yeah.
dominate the Flyers. The Flyers still alive just because of Carter Hart.
That's
Um,
it. Everyone else gets cleaned.
yep.
I mean, that was like a one-sided game. It was crazy. But anyways, so I guess, what you're thinking on the next game.
Um, you know, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, by the way. I don't want to get Miami
Okay,
to
I don't
talk
want
a
to
little
give it
bit
away
more
because
about
it's
that
like,
one over there. Finally, this part over there, again, the power play does not work well for both teams. 0-4 for Flowers, and then Islanders only 1-6. Um, over 117 hits, 64-73, and 5 period. We understand that part of there. The only thing why the Flowers survived and why they got dominate. Check that stats, Michael. Flowers gave away puck 30 times versus 16.
that's ridiculous.
Yes, yes,
Like the puck management is crazily
yes,
bad.
yeah.
Like I don't know if this is how this lineup is constructed. Like if you look historically at an Alain Vigneault team, that does not is that like an Alain Vigneault team? Like are they a turnover machine? Like I don't think so.
Now I want to bring you one more stat. I think me and you we talked about this yesterday. I talked with someone yesterday, but I'm not sure it was you or someone else. But we mentioned the fact like Sean Couturier maybe not going to play. Remember?
Yeah.
And then we said, you know what? Claude Giroux should be center. Should not play left wing.
Yeah, he's how do
So
you do it center?
62%.
Yeah. What like I understand what happened early on because they were struggling. If you go back 2 years when Couturier kind of had a breakout year, Couturier was like their third line center. He was a young guy, and he was noted for like, oh, he's a two-way guy. He'll get you 15 goals, and then all of a sudden he got 30 goals, and
Yep.
he was so much, he was playing at a high level. But you weren't seeing that this series or the prior series. You were seeing a guy that was struggling. Like, if anything, you moved Giroux to center because Giroux was, aside from the last 2 years, he's always played center.
But my point to you, I would say to you, I will split Giroux and Couturier.
Totally,
I will play
totally,
Giroux with Voracek, right? And then you're going to have
absolutely.
Couturier, and I will move also maybe Kevin Hayes on the third on the left and that center. He have only 40% yesterday. I think Grant played a good game yesterday too, and then Neil Thompson have only 56. That surprised me a little bit, but usually he's good. I
Yeah.
think for me, I will move out Kevin Hayes on the left of Sean
I don't know
Couturier.
that. I don't know if you put. I think you keep Hayes at center because he's such a big body and he controls the ice from the middle. Even if he's not winning faceoffs, you're not getting opportunities with him.
But, yeah, but
I think
where do you
if
put
you
Couturier?
you can put Couturier wherever you want because at this point you want him as center. But if you had those three guys as your centers, I don't have a problem. But Couturier is like he's not producing offensively at all. Maybe you move him to the wing for a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah,
games.
but the defensive side is pretty good. I will not do that.
He's very good.
I will
That's
keep
what I'm saying. Like move him to the third or second line. Like if who's Konechny playing with?
Couturier will play with Giroux.
No, Konechny.
Konechny play with, but he play with sometimes he play with Kevin Hayes and sometimes he play up. It depends now.
Yeah.
So he
I
played
I
28
I,
minutes, 29 minutes yesterday. Kevin Hayes played, like I said, 37 minutes. I don't know, but I just want to mention
I
to you
think I would
where
try. I would put Konechny because Konechny creates a lot of opportunity. And if you put Konechny with Couturier at center, you might have a really good 1-2 punch there with Giroux and Voracek on the first line. That's what I would try. I think all those guys are capable and comfortable playing with each other. And then Hayes, like you're not getting massive offense out of him, but if he's your third guy and you're just rolling three lines, 20 minutes each is not bad. I
So
mean, I
if
don't
I
know why.
was listening to you, I would put that way, like you said, Kanini with Giroud and Voracek. I would go back with Kevin Hayes with GVR and Scott Laughton, and then I would go with
Yeah,
Couturier, Len Blum over there, and then you can have those three, the three other players you can put like
yeah.
Pitlick over there, or you can also bring Obi Cobble there, or so
He's played well too. I'm actually really surprised about Farabee because to me, he's the type of guy where he's got lots of talent. He's just getting comfortable with the NHL, and
yeah.
you get a lot of production out of him. Like he can play.
So here's my point to you. What I don't understand, Vigneault, all right,
Yeah,
is with if you want to do that, you're not going to get a lot from um, you're not going to use Farabee a lot because you're not confident or maybe on defensive side, whatever it is. But I would bring him before Pitlick on the lineup,
oh yeah,
and I will use it at when we need a goal because they need protection
yeah.
offensive. Now the good thing about them yesterday they scored 5 goals, where it's not happened a lot in the playoff. I think that was
True.
the most goal in the first round, second round. So
Yeah.
it was good for them, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Let's move on to game number two.
Oh my God.
Last night, where it was only one words on any. I think I watch everything. So, and any sports TV show, radio show, podcast show, they're all about one word, only one name. That's
Demko.
it. Exactly. That's all about him yesterday. At the point where Vegas are frustrated, and whatever Pete Tober said, we have to be calm. We have to just reset and play the game we're supposed to play. And you get frustration. More the game was a little bit late. Come, second period, third period, they get more frustrated. And the only again Vegas have almost 50 shot versus
I was
23.
gonna say, like, again, the shots were like definitely they were. I thought they were outplaying Vancouver badly. I mean, there was a
48,
big
20, 48, 23. The problem that Vegas have right now
48.
it's 05 and 04 for Vancouver on power play, and you talk about one player yesterday, and he scored the second goal of the game. GT Miller, Miller, an
Such a good
amazing
player.
shot there. Honestly, it was great. I think Quinn Hughes played an amazing game for Vancouver yesterday. And then, Bo Ovet scored a 10 of the playoff. That's a very surprise. And for finale, the game at 15-20, 15-22.
10
But,
goals for that
you know what I
guy.
mean? Verton on the second goal. But at the end of the day, it's it's Temco everywhere. Temco everywhere.
Demko
The
is
only reason he's there Vancouver right now is because the goalie and get confidence to all those players right now, and that helped to Vancouver his teammates. But again, 48-23, and then Vegas at 43 hit versus only 26, and Vancouver blocked 21 shot. So they are really get dominate, but they score at the right time. You go tell me if Leonard play a bad game? I don't think so. Maybe one of the four goal. The two other one, it was one at the top shell, and then one it was like he cannot see anything. It was a great shot from Miller, I believe, or Hughes. It was touched the post out and came back in after that. Um,
well. I mean, here's the reality: anything less than perfect, and Leonard loses that game
yeah,
because the other guy was perfect. Like that was a second game in a row. Like what are the odds that you would have said, yeah, Thatcher Demko is going to come back and pitch a shutout after the one goal performance in the prior game?
yeah.
Like it's like how many shots has he faced in 2 games? Like 100 shots or 80 shots?
It was 48 shot yesterday, and the day before was 43. So he gave 91
91
shot,
shots.
91 shot and one goal.
One goal, 91 shots.
Yeah,
Like so it's not like he's playing above his head. Like if you've watched Thatcher Demko, like we have, like I've watched him since he was in the BC league, and I was like, wow, this is a great goalie. Like I remember saying,
He was really square.
Did
He's
you get
always
the one up there?
moving
No,
quick
I'm sorry.
laterally. Yeah, watch him a lot yesterday. He
Can I get a
could.
cart? Yeah, can I have you come around and I'll put you in one of these lanes?
All right,
Yep.
I'm getting
And
kicked out.
and then and then the Vancouver Canucks play on at three line almost all game. Um, so that's why they balance very well his line. One player played very well yesterday. Have only one assist, but it's a Pearson. Um,
Oh, Tanner
Pearson,
Pearson.
yeah, have a very good game yesterday for
Oh,
Vancouver.
Tanner, yeah.
Peterson did not, alias Peterson have no point, but he played a solid game also for Vancouver. But we have to give credit to GT Miller. 2 point more, 2 more points yesterday. He played over 22 minutes. I think for Vancouver he was the one. Um, did
Here,
Vegas did try everything from the shot left and right, uh,
one there.
top line, everything. So it was a good performance for them. But again, Tamco saved everything, and it is what it is, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Sorry, doing
great.
double duty. I'm like being a chauffeur for myself.
It's all right. No problem. So it was a very good game, and now that brings game number 7. Now here's the point here. They play back to back today. They are back on the ice today. I don't know if you're around, but you mute yourself, Mike. But just want to be sure all the listener watch, uh, all the Hockey Nation fans. Vegas and Vancouver play game number 7 tonight at 9 p.m. on NBCSN. But prior to that, the NHL decide to play a game today between Dallas, Colorado. Pay attention because this is a game afternoon where not many people may be going to miss this one. 4 p.m. Secondly, it's not only on TV, but it's not on NBC or NBCN and NBCSN. It's on the USA channel and USA USA channel for USA people, and Canada is going to be on the Sportnet and also on TVA Sport. So pay attention today. Be careful if you are fans of Dallas or Colorado. Pretty sure you know already. But the game today, it's at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, and Dallas play versus Colorado. Um, we mentioned this. Colorado win the last 2 games. They really come back. The momentum come back. Since for any reason we are don't understand. Maybe it was the reason why it's back-to-back game. But since Ben Bishop show up at game number 5, where he gave 4 goals at the first period. It was 5-0 after that for Dallas, for Colorado. We did not understand the shift, the momentum, and the ball after that came to Colorado. Since that move, Colorado is all over Dallas. We thought at 3-1 with the injury to Philip Gruber and from Eric Johnson and Matt Calvert.
And Donskoy on top of it.
So, we have to be, thought at some moment Colorado is going to be out, and then finally, again, it's a shift of momentum all the time, back and forth. Dallas can score 2-3 goals back to back to back. They always came back I think there are 6 times during the playoffs so far. They came back trailing by 1, 2, 3 more goals, and he came back with back-to-back goals. So we'll see what happens tonight.
It's going to be interesting. I think there's still doubts in my mind about Hutchison. He's played very well. Can he keep it up? I think the last game was obviously about Colorado's team play, and if they can maintain that or return with that level of intensity and consistency, like I've never seen them play every single shift like that. So that was really the difference. They can't take any shift off with this goalie. Like they
agree
need to
with
give
you.
him every chance.
Are we going to see the good of Michael Hutchinson or the bad of Michael Hutchinson? So that's the first
You
thing.
don't know.
You don't know. The second thing I would say to you, this team can go all the way because Nathan McKinnon.
oh my God, like,
You know what I mean?
are you seeing is he the best player in the game?
Right now he is. Yeah, right now,
Like,
he is. Secondly, I would say to you right now, he's the one should win the Connie Smythe if this was over today. Makes
I
sense. It
agree.
was like he got 14 straight points. He's already over 25 points. He's really dominated the game now. Now, this I would say to you, you have two things. Is it Kudelin better to Hutchinson or Hutchinson better to Kudelin? Or McKinnon versus and Ratanen versus Radulov, Ben, and Seguin. Now,
Yeah, I
big
mean,
decision
I
tonight
could,
for Lester Gog. We don't know yet. It's going to be a
yeah,
game decision only. I just checked before we come here online what's going on in Colorado. And remember, the game is at 4 p.m.
yeah,
So, so we'll see what happens. This is getting hurt. By that moment, it's not matter without him. It's just to go in, and see what happened over there. So, um, we talk about this since the beginning of the round number two, where we want Colorado. We are maybe more fans of Colorado,
for sure.
and then, but again, this is going to be
Well, imagine if that team was healthy. Like, that's what we saw. I mean, there's a lot to like on that team. What's good is you can tell they have depth because they've lost 4 key players and they're still performing at a high level. Now, is it 5? Like they've lost Johnson, Calvert, Donskoy, and Grubauer. And now if Landeskog's out, like, can they withstand that? Do they have enough? You're going to have to look for huge performance from Kadri. I mean, you
I
can't just
can't
get
wait.
by on McKinnon. You know what I mean? Like, Kadri's line's got to do something.
I can't wait the minutes how are you going to play McKinnon tonight. I predict over 30 minutes.
38.
30 minutes. I predict 30 minutes today. I can see this really well over there. And then you're going to see now. Also, we said we did not mention this. I think it's a good point. Kel Makar versus Kleinberg and Ekinen. You cannot hear me? Hold on. Whoop, there may be a problem here. Can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go.
Here you go. So I think at that moment the problem, but it's going to be Kellen McCarr versus Kleinberg and Eskinen. So we'll see what happened over there too, honestly. So what's your prediction for that game before we jump the
Oh my God.
9 p.m.?
I got to go with Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't like the moves. Despite everything going against them, I got to think they're going to pull it out. Like, they're going to come in, they're going to play super desperate like the last game. If they play anything less than 60 minutes of the way they played last game, then, Dallas can kill you. Because they're pretty healthy and they've got that quick strike offense.
I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like we're not. I've been living Colorado, so a little bit with the reason why I like Colorado a little bit more. But at the end of the day, right? If you are only a hockey fans, and for any other team in NHL, I believe it would be better for the NHL popularity, better to see McKinnon
Oh, yeah.
versus other player from Dallas.
Sagan.
Now here what I want to mention this. You're going to smile right now. You're going to laugh. Who was said? Because 2020 is just everything you can imagine in life. 2020 is completely crazy.
Upside down.
Yeah. Imagine in the final conference, Dallas versus Vancouver.
Oh, fuck. Who would predict that? Was Dallas even supposed to be in the playoffs?
You want to do
No, yeah, Dallas, yeah, they finished first.
So, I mean, listen, they had a good year, obviously, then, if that's the case. You look at that lineup, and you look at how poorly Ben and Sagan have performed. Is that coaching? I'm not sure.
No,
I think there's – and then Radulov. I think those
still
are
over there. Great defenseman, great trio defenseman over there, and then two goal line, and then their backup Dickinson. Koreanov is maybe the one surprise everybody there.
Well, he's great. That's a really good player. Hezekainen is a superstar. I mean,
and you know what you expect from
yeah.
Kleinberg. You know what you're going
But
to get from Ben, Seguin, and Radulov.
would anybody have expected Ben Bishop to be this terrible?
No, but again, you have also Joe Pavelski, right?
Yep.
I think
Pavelski, I expect to play
and
well.
a little bit struggle at the beginning. Now he's getting better and better. Hands over there. You have Kurevanov. So you have a very good two line over there, and then you have the depth over there with Jean Marc and Cogliano and all those players there, Dickinson. So we'll see what happen there. But it's just my point to you is like, oh my God, Vancouver against Dallas.
Never would have guessed any of this. So
Wow.
and then Vancouver is, I mean, this is a coming out party for more than just Thatcher Demko. I mean, we're realizing this team is young, super high talent. They have depth. I mean, if you're Tyler Toffoli and Tanner Pearson, do you not want to stay? You're like, please keep me.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see about this one over there. I just want to mention that part. And tonight, remember, that's game at 9 p.m. tonight. It's a back-to-back game. Would be surprised. Now, before we move to the news, who do you expect in the pipe tonight for Vegas?
I think they're going to go Leonard. I mean, I don't think they're not going to. At this point, you can see they don't really think Fleury is the number one or 1B. So they're going to go Leonard.
Usually we are wrong all the time because it's back-to-back game and someone surprised everything, right? So logically and realistic, I believe it should be Lerner, right?
Yeah,
Because I don't attribute the game yesterday where it was very bad. He made great save on Philip Myers breakaway,
sure.
right? And then you have another save, I think it was on Brooke Borster or Bover or that another breakaway when it was only 2-0. I could be wrong which one it was, but I may be Miller. So he kept the team he keep the Vegas live at least at 2-0. So I don't think so any change over there. Temko would be back in the lineup. He would be back in the
Oh my
pipe.
God, he may never give up the net.
I mean, where
He
I
may
was
never. They may never pull him out.
here what's going happening there. If Vancouver score and then Vegas try, and he gets frustrated, that's
Mentally,
going to
they're
be not a
gonna.
mental of the game right now. Is going to maybe give a chance to Vancouver. So we'll see. Get excited. I have a couple of news for you. Um, First of all, we talk about Lembaum come back in the lineup yesterday after that one.
Yep.
Lestegard is a game decision tonight, game number 7 between them. Um, between them,
With Colorado.
Kucherov was back on the ice for practice,
Yep.
but is still
He's not ready.
uncertain, confirmed to play the next round yet. Where I believe he's going to play, but that's just the blah 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 between, you know what I mean. Let's move on for Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins, Zeno Shara have a nice press conference with a couple of newspaper reporter yesterday mentioned he want to play back. He want to play. By the
Sure.
way, he was only under contract at $2 million.
That's what I was saying. Like he'll come back and play one more year. He's gonna be inexpensive, and I mean he's worth more than that probably. Like
I
you
agree.
should be paying that guy 3-4 mil at least.
They become the mentors,
Oh
right?
my God, he's a monster.
So
If you heard the stories from our chief scout Alvin talk about all these guys are in the dressing room screwing around, and Chara, you got to remember he's a giant. He's 6'9". He's like 285, 290 pounds. He comes into the room, in the middle of the room, jumps up on the rafters, and he does 20 pull-ups, grunting, and everybody stands there watching. Like there's no other leader like that in the NHL. That combination of commitment to fitness, intensity, he's a giant. That guy's worth 4 or 5 million.
yeah. So that was to show him now. Tony Crook on the flip side,
I
he's not
bet he
going to,
leaves.
no, he's not going to have any discount for Boston. You expect him to get there.
Yeah.
So we'll
I
see
think
on that one over there.
if so he's a left shot or is he a right shot?
He's on the left side.
So here's a guy that this is his last contract potentially, right? And they're going to maintain the cap at 81.5. he's underpaid at like 5 mil. Is he like 4.7 or 5
Well, maybe that area. I don't
around there?
know.
I mean, he on the open market, he could at least get. He's going to get over 5. He'll get like 5.5 to 6.5, I bet, because he munches a lot of minutes and he gets points. Someone may overpay for him, but he should get a bigger contract.
For me, is the level of Chris Letang.
Oh, you think he's that good? Yeah. I mean,
that a couple of years ago, for the last 2 years, what he bring for Boston Bruins, what he bring on the offensive side, and same level like Chris Letang. Maybe Letang a little bit more produce point because he plays higher level.
Maybe.
Malkin, but he talk about offensive, carry on the puck, and everything like that. I think Tony Kroos.
It's a hard comparison. Like Letang, I know, has had injury problems. When you see Letang, he's kind of point a game, but it's in a limited viewing. So I'm never sure. But when I watch him, I'm like, man, he's really good. So it's not a bad comparison. You're probably right. Like Letang's going to get more offense just based upon the team, right?
Yeah. But again, I'm not saying I'm not.
So then, do you think that he gets 7 mil?
It would be close.
I think you're right. That's why I was like, I can't see him leaving if everyone else is offering 5.5, 6. The only restraint will be our team's budget conscious, and are they conscious of his age? He's 29 or 30, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But I think he'll get 7 years. It would not shock me to see him get 45, 49 million.
It will be that area for sure. Last thing you said yesterday, we talked about this, and it's confirmed. Bergeron played with a groin injury where it's always been hurt him for many years, right? He can controlling the pain he mentioned yesterday, but he still play with injury. He's always been that way year after year in the playoff. Bergeron still go through the pain. That show he's professional. That show. By the way, if you see at the end of the last game when they got eliminated, he was the one beside the door shaking hands to everybody.
Yeah, he's a special player. He's a player that you don't understand how good he is until you watch him. He does everything really well.
Yeah. I just mentioned to you, what it is. I know him a little bit particularly because he's from he's in Quebec. He does a lot of power skating with one of my friends.
Oh, does he?
And he's still, it's impressive when you get over almost 30 years old and he's still learning power skating and try to improve even. So it's really classy, very professional players. He's not on my best team. I don't really like, but still at the end of the day, we have to tell the truth about some players, everything. So that was news. The Canucks Vancouver, because the injury now to Max Strom, they bring back a goalie from ECHL, Jake Kelly, came back up just in case something could happen. So it was one situation over there. Now I want to mention about the schedule. Sunday we have a game Sunday night. The Eastern Conference start Sunday night.
Okay.
So at 8:00 on the NBA on the NBC only, and then Saturday we have one game at 7:30 on NBC also, between Islanders and Philadelphia.
God, I don't know what's going to happen in these games.
I know. Now, I want to finish this with 2 news. Hockey Canada canceled 3 events, one for the women, Team Canada, and also 2 from junior. They pushed back everything on 2021.
Well, it's really strange because I heard that this weekend in Las Vegas, in the States, the Tier 1 California teams are all playing in Vegas. Like you've got the LA Junior Kings, the Junior Sharks. I think even the Golden Bears are up there. I would imagine San Diego would be up there. I have to check, but apparently there's Tier 1 games.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about Team Canada, you know what I mean?
Well, it's just weird because you're seeing, like, you were mentioning Quebec playing, right? And Quebec's saying they're going to start October 1. So we're all over the map. I don't know what's going to happen. It's so confusing because our league is talking about, I don't know what they're talking about, November, December?
But my point to you is You just said we're all over the map, and that's the country we are right now. It's all over the map. You can move
Ridiculous.
from one city, one county, one state. It's all different rules. So one place you cannot have games, you cannot play sport. Another game
It's
they open
chaos.
for this weekend in Tampa. They have a hockey tournament.
Give me a break. I don't know what's going. And
You know
apparently
what I
the
mean? And
USHL
then
is not.
on my place,
US,
you cannot play hockey. You have to wear a mask. So it's a lot different thing like that. You have to see what's going on. And then I want to finish one thing really important. Sometimes we're changing, right? The social racism and everything like that's changing, and we need to bring this because NHL and NHLPA make a new committee of people with Anson Carter and they associate together to create more to helping
inclusion.
players, yeah, everything like
Yeah.
that. On the flip side, on the woman's side, um, nurse sister, Daniel nurse sister. Um, I'm not remember her first name. I apologize for that part. Anyway, they bring her up. They bring her now on the board
Oh, they did, eh?
on the woman's side to talk about this and also helping the process of to the that situation around from the woman's side. So it was a great one to do that. Kelly Janeski, I believe her last name, had to resign on the board to give a chance to Nurse to join the group. So you can see the
So is
solidarity,
is
the
isn't
group
his
right
si-
now. They want
isn't
to change.
isn't his sister a basketball player though?
I think it was a cousin. Honestly, they have the last name, so I'm pretty sure that's the, you know what I mean. Like, and
Because
that many Nurse play hockey.
like Darnell, his sister is like a basketball player, and then she has like another cousin, which is Gabby Williams, right?
Yep.
I think that's it. I can't remember. There's some connection, and then I think his uncle is Donovan McNabb, the football player, right?
Yeah, possible too.
Yeah,
Uh,
the NFL quarterback.
yep. Absolutely right about that one over there. So that that's make us to do all around
Hey,
the.
listen, you know what? The more kids that are playing hockey, the more athletes that want to play hockey, but you can't force people to play sport. So it's good that we're encouraging people, and that's what you want to do. You want to give them opportunity. If we start getting into quotas, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because the problem with that is, let's look at the U.S. We got some very good players coming up that are of different ethnic backgrounds. In Everett, we drafted one kid. He's Chinese. He's a super high skilled player. Like, we love him, right? We have another kid that's Korean that we drafted. He's a really good player. Like, you see kids that like Keandre Miller. Look at for you got a lot of I don't know.
The
I,
Germany
I
kid.
just think I
The
think you want to make sure there's opportunity and you're encouraging kids to play sports. But in
Yep.
the end, players got to go to the sport they're interested in. So we should be reaching out and we should always be trying to encourage people. But let's also understand, let's judge players based upon their ability and merit.
I agree with you absolutely right. And the hockey is getting better and grow more and more in different countries.
Which I love. I mean, I
Recently,
love
the
that.
last year that the Germany got a first draft pick, like the first round pick players, or is it this year? Yeah, we kid
Sorry,
from Germany.
Stutzel is like friggin' so
Yeah,
I mean, Draisaitl was probably the highest drafted German player
yeah,
because he went
exactly.
third, right, with Edmonton. He probably should have been first. I mean, he's a superstar now, the
Yeah,
German Gretzky, as they call him.
yeah,
Um,
and then you talk about
he's
Demko.
phenomenal. But now Tim Stützle, to me, is the number two player. Like, you got Lafreniere and then Stützle. So we'll see what LA does. The rumor is that they'll stick with Byfield because he's a big guy, and there's nothing wrong with Byfield. Like, he's a super high talented big player. Like, he's a 6'4" high talent player.
Yeah,
So I could see why if LA leans toward that, but honestly, Stützle's better. I'm like,
yeah.
so that's
We'll
good.
see what happens over there. That would make us.
But again, so bringing up, Quinton Byfield is, I don't know if he's Jamaican.
I
So he
think
he
so.
might be, if Quinton Byfield goes second overall, which I think he might, he might. I think he would be the highest drafted person of color, right?
Yes, because now you go through. He was going to beat Seth Jones.
Yep, which went fourth.
Yeah.
So that
So
would, he's a very good player. Like
yeah,
someone's gonna in a couple years, they're gonna be really happy they drafted him.
yeah, exactly. So that's make us the final of the day for today, Mike. It was great. It's fun to, as a fan of hockey, to have three games
Oh
and
my God, it's
over
awesome.
seven, right? We did not expect that at the beginning of the second round. I think we maybe said maybe one team will maybe go to the seventh series or seven. Then I would say to you, the only team can come back 3-1. I said to you a couple of days ago would be Colorado. I don't see the Flyers. I did not see the Vancouver
But
do this.
again, it's like
And
individual
honestly,
performance, right?
it's 2020 anymore. I think maybe now Vancouver is going to win the Stanley Cup. Not just kidding. But you never
Don't
know.
say that.
You never
That's
know. It's
they
like
might. They
it's
might. They could.
of course they could. They
They're
still
way better than people
alive.
realize.
But you
So
never know. That's what 2020
okay,
is
so if we go
about.
back, right, at the beginning of these series, did we say Islanders Philly would be 6 or 7 games?
I think we said six for me was max six.
Yeah, I think I said it was either 6 or 7. So the route to get there was kind of strange.
Yeah,
Colorado, I thought would have finished this
six.
off in 5 or 6, but all the injuries, right?
That's
Like,
the series right there. And then Vegas Vancouver. I said Vegas on five.
yeah, I mean,
I
wow.
maybe said maybe go six in case someone's still a game
I,
and
I, I
you
think
know
you see that, but Vegas is a legit team. They're amazing. However, they've run into an X factor. They're sitting there with video watching Thatcher Demko.
right now
They're like,
they
how do
yeah.
we score this guy?
Now for them right now it's a mental. So more earlier, Vegas can score a goal this tonight. That would
Yeah,
change a lot the game.
maybe.
The game.
I, I mean, I think it's going to boil down to he's a big goalie and he's positionally sound. He's not a bum.
He's on
Like
mission
it's not a
right now.
fluke,
He's on mission.
right? It's not a fluke. He's showing you what he is. He's a good goalie. Like Hutchison is different to me. Hutchison is a team that played extremely well around him, and they propped him up. Demko is showing you what Demko is going to be for like 7, 8, 10 years.
He's
It's
still
gonna
he's
come. It's
old.
gonna
He's
happen.
not young.
He's 24. He's not that young,
No.
but
But again,
he'll play till he's 35, right? Like
that would bring an idea what you do with Mike Strom after that.
it's a tough decision. I think you bring Markstrom back and give him
I
the
agree
deal,
with
but
you.
you definitely got to give one guy 35 games.
And now in NHL next year, you better to have a great duo tandem goaltender if you want to go
I
to
think you're right.
because it's going to be a
There's gonna
lot
be a
of
lot
game
of
back to
back-to-back.
back, 3 nights. We mentioned this yesterday. So, Mike, this was another great, amazing show again from all the Hockey Nation live show with Cole Frenchy and Michael Devellano. Whatever you are, whatever you do, please, fans, enjoy the 2 game today. We cannot leave you without now our new music. Finalize this show, and thanks, Mike, again for your participation and join me every single day at 11 o'clock. And don't forget, tomorrow again, we go back here at 11 a.m. Eastern Time to another Hockey Nation live show. And don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook page
And
under
YouTube.
Hockey Nation Live. And also now we have a new YouTube channel. We bring everything there, and we may going to get more short video for you guys on YouTube channel. So thanks again to listener and watching us. Have an amazing, great, not only Friday but also a great weekend, Labor Day weekend. Stay safe, be careful, and enjoy with your family, your friends. Thanks again, Michael.
Thank you, Pierre.
Have a good one, guys. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Thanks, Mike. Have a great weekend. Here we go. We love it. We enjoy it. Have a good one, guys. See you, Mike.